to another episode of generally entertaining affairs regarding stuff to do with cars, here on Just Mad Cars. So Ferrari has been teasing us with rumours of a hardcore 488, bringing a successor to the 488 Speciale. Ferrari has been very secretive about what they're going to call it, but expect something exotic, as like the previous models were called 458 Speciale, 430 Scuderia, and the 360 Challenge Stradale. So the name will pay homage to that kind of product. There are even some rumours that it might even bear the GTO badge, making it pretty special. We can confidently guess that it will be lighter than the standard 488 as well as have more aero. The engine will be a racing version of the 3.9 litre twin turbo V8, but it may have at least 700 horsepower. There's even talk that it will be faster than a Ferrari. Obviously, on my left, you can see it going around the Nürburgring. It's been rumoured for a few months actually, and I've been following it here and there, like every little article I've seen, and I'm quite excited for it. The 458 Speciale was a very capable car, so this will be something special again. And obviously, the way the supercar market has just moved forward, there's all these hardcore versions of normal supercars that Ferrari are kind of slacking right now. But then again, Ferrari always bring out a special edition model of its V8, of its like flagship supercar. For example, like with the 458 Speciale came out towards the end of production, so that means this car coming out, there's going to be something new in a couple years time. Drifting fans, BMW have broken the world's longest drift. The total distance of the drift was 232.5 miles, smashing the previous record of 89.5. It's quite impressive, but not as impressive as the way that they had to refuel during the 232.5 miles of drifting. BMW rigged up a previous generation M5 to run alongside the 2018 M5 that was carrying out the world record attempt. They rigged it up as a refueling truck basically. During the drift, the previous model M5 drifted alongside the 2018 model and filled it up with fuel as it was drifting. What is interesting as well is BMW didn't even have to do that. Like, it's part of the rules of the world record that they could have stopped, refueled their car and continued where they had left off, but they didn't. They decided we're gonna do it this way and make things more interesting. Yes, I like drifting, but a lot of people would have thought this is kind of boring, but that was something special and something exciting, and more car makers should adhere to this kind of behavior, you know. And because of that, they actually broke a second world record, which was for the longest twin drift. So that's two cars drifting at the same time, and that was during their time where they were refueling. And they didn't just refuel once, they actually refueled 4 times. So 4 attempts whilst it was drifting. That's mad. In the last episode of G.E.A.R.S, I explained how some manufacturers choose who they want as customers. Another example of this, what you guys may call lunacy, is the Porsche 911 GT3. People were exchanging their daughters to obtain a build slot for a Porsche 911 GT3. However, one lucky individual managed to land themselves not 1, not 2, but 18 of these build slots. The individual who had been blessed by a higher power for one of these coveted build slots then cancelled his order. The person that bought him was a Dutch businessman or something. He wanted 18 to take to track or something. He bought all of them in identical color and identical spec so that he could take them to track days. So we don't know if he decided that he wanted to maybe start a business where he was training people how to drive on track. Maybe he wanted to start his own racing team, or maybe he was just bare rich and he wanted him and all his boys to go be racing Porsche 911 GT3s. We don't know. But all we know is that he cancelled his order that people would have, like I said, traded their daughter to buy, but he decided he don't want them. If you're in the market for a Porsche 911 GT3 with no miles, that's white, PDK, and has a Club Sport package, head over to Marktplatz.
Try that again.
Marktplatz. Head over to Marktplatz and take your pick of one of these 18 that are there. I don't know if they're selling them individually or all 18 in one go, but wait, if you want to get one, then, you know, start saving the pennies because they're kind of expensive still. But if you do get one, hold tight you. Hold tight you. So 2018 is here, and to be fair, we live in a mad world. We always have lived in a mad world, but it just feels like the world is just at its maddest, and we don't know when it's gonna stop. We got some YouTubers going to places and showing little children dead bodies. We've got certain leaders at war with each other, saying that they've got a bigger button than each other. And you got, what else happened in the world, fam? So obviously, it's a sad world that we live in, and it's even sadder when you hear about young people practically losing a gift, an opportunity that they were given. Last year, a Formula 4 race at Donington Park ended in tragedy. Billy Monger was racing at high speed when he collided with a stationary car. As a result of the accident, he had to have the lower parts of his legs amputated. Many of us would probably shy away for racing or even driving, at least for a very long time. But Billy hasn't let his disability slow him down. And recently at the performance car show in the NEC in Birmingham, he performed as part of a stunt drivers team, and he hopes to one day return to racing. We all hope to see him succeed as well, because this positive attitude that he has is good for the world. The world needs a positive attitude, because these days everybody's just moving negative, bruv. Everyone's just bare sad. There's always madness going on, but someone like him lost his legs, but he can still walk and he gets into cars and he does what he loves doing. That's a madness. This concludes this episode of generally entertaining affairs regarding stuff to do with cars. Hopefully we get another one out soon for you guys. If you like this video, tell your friends, and tell your friends to tell their friends, and tell your mum, and tell your auntie, tell your sister, tell your dad, tell your brothers, tell everyone so they can come and watch it. Thank you guys, and we'll see you soon.